Hello everybody, take two of this video. I was trying to edit out the because that's like something that was commented on my last video, and then I was going through and I thought it was like very good at like not doing too many but I went back through and it was just too many for me to edit out, at least on Share Factory. If I actually recorded this on Odyssey, you can really get in there and get every individual or that pops up. But the was not going to happen this time around. So I'm going to try to minimize that stuff as much as possible. So the first thing I'm going to get into is the cover art for this comic. And it's not bad. There's not much I could say about it. It's serviceable art. It's pretty good, actually. It's got a lot of detail to it. Nothing really negative to say. So the next thing I'm going to get into is the credits for this comic, which compared to the last comic is amazing, because the last comic had 9 people working on it, and this time it's only 5 people who worked on it. So it's written by Ian Flynn. All of the art is done by Priscilla Tarbanato. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing these names right. I'm just going to read the first names that I know how to read. Letters are done by Sean Lee. Megan Brown is one of the editors, and then I think David Moriarty is the actual editor, but one artist. One artist did pencils, colors, and the color or inks and stuff for this issue. All of it. One artist did all of the work for this comic, essentially, and it's really good art, actually. The art is like formatted in the way you expect a comic book to be formatted. It's not using stagnant ground level shots. It doesn't look like they used like background assets for a lot of this stuff. It's all really good and well executed art, actually. I will give them credit for that. It still has a tiny bit of that amateur edge to it, but it's not as bad as the previous issue. Like, the previous issue looked like an amateur drew it, and it also looked like an amateur was the colorist, now that I think about it, because like I was thinking about it, and it was like the colors in the last comic, again, they were not bad, but the way they executed colors and not like really doing much with like the backgrounds and stuff, it was very like amateur level type of art. And this one, it's really good. I have to give them props for that. The one flaw I found in the art in this issue is on this page here, where the monkey just turned into a zombot, and the crowd is going wild and going crazy, running from the zombot. And if you look at the first 2 panels on this page, you'll notice the panel on the left, the box is like complete. And then the panel on the left is a continuation of the panel, or excuse me, the panel on the right is a continuation of the panel on the left. And like the art, it continues, but then the box itself for the art is there in the middle, just cutting off the characters for some reason. And I can't like wrap my head around what was the point of that, because in another context, if you have a character poking out of the box, like I'll use this one picture of Emerald carrying Cream, and you'll notice his whatever that yellow thing is on his head, it's poking out of like the sides of the box, and it's not like the box cuts it off. But then like this, it's like you see right there, these characters are getting cut off by the box. And it's like they couldn't decide if there was going to be like 2 different panels there or something. It's really bizarre. I don't know if it was intentional or if it was a like accident that was left in. Besides that, the art was pretty good in this issue. It's way better than what the last issue was, and maybe that's why I'm like gushing over it a tiny bit. It's because the last issue, The art was not very stellar. I keep saying as if the art was bad. It wasn't bad art. It's just it was not like professional comic book grade art that I was expecting. But with the art out of the way, I'm going to talk about the actual story of this issue. And the story is not that bad either. It's not stand out ish necessarily. The plot is just basically it takes place during Amy's perspective of like the first day of the outbreak, so to speak, and it just kind of doesn't have much to talk about. It's not bad. It's serviceable. There's like a couple of parts where it cuts to this Eddie talking, and I just don't care about this Eddie. I couldn't care less about the Zeddy at all. The previous issue had some Zeddy content in it also, and I just don't care about the Zeddy enough to talk about them. They're dumb. So I'm not going to talk about them. I'll talk about them when they become more prevalent in this the next issue. But other than that, though, it was a big nothing burger. The one thing I'm going to talk about, though, for sure is the monkey, the infamous infected monkey who shows up at the Restoration HQ. So, for anybody who is not a troglodyte, this monkey shows up in this issue. He's one of the refugees. He's infected, and he comes in and he gets everybody else infected, quote unquote. He gets everybody infected, quote unquote. I'm gonna say like 40 issues from now, the monkey comes back, and he's no longer infected. Like, spoiler warning, Zomba infection disappears, but the Zomba, or the monkey, he returns, and he basically has this dialogue about how he's trying to like make amends for his past mistakes. And when the internet found out that this monkey was returning, everybody was just screaming and yelling, well, not really screaming and yelling. They're typing furiously, making angry tweets about this monkey and how he should be killed and horribly murdered and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, nobody wants to show any remorse or whatever. This monkey wants to atone for his sins, and everybody's like, no, he should be killed and murdered. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? This fictional background character who's only shown up twice in the entire comic book series, everybody's got this like vitriolic reaction to him. Now, I want to say, everybody blames him for everything going bad in the refugee camp. However, I want everybody to know that the next page after we see the monkey man fully turn, the next time we see him, he's clinging to Emerald, who is flying backwards into Amy's office. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like if he jumped on Emerald like immediately, that means he didn't infect anybody in the room. But you know who probably infected more people in that room than the monkey? Is Charmy. Because before the monkey is revealed to be infected, we have this shot of Vector holding Charmy in a containment ball because Charmy's infected, and Vector brings him in, and he's infected. And he gets out, like, pretty much when the monkey turns. But, like, I just want to say, in my opinion, Charmy infected more people in that room than the monkey. Because I didn't see many or any people that the monkey infected. I think Charmy infected most of the people in the room. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it. The monkey did nothing wrong. Charmy is the real menace in this comic. But besides that, though, we basically have a pretty decent just issue of like shit's getting infected or whatever. It's pretty run by the Mills sort of thing you see in Zombie Story. There's like a room full of refugees, and one person turns out to be infected, and they infect the other people around them. And a whole bunch of people die, very cynically. Like, basically, though, they're on their way out, and Charmy like runs through the blast door, so Vector catches him, and obviously that means Vector's now infected. So Vector like self-sacrifices himself and he goes into the room full of infected people before he actually turns to full Zombot. And that's the last we see of Vector for a while. And then it cuts to the end of the last issue, basically, where the rescue shuttle shows up and picks up Tails, and they basically have the whole thing where Tails is like, oh my god, my research is destroyed, we're all gonna fucking die, and that's basically the end of it. They do have this last panel where Tangle is calling to Jewel, trying to figure out what's happening, or she's talking to Jewel, but I could give two fucks about Jewel. I actually do not care about Jewel at all. There is an issue that shows you how Jewel gets infected, and it's the biggest nothing burger, like, who fucking cares moment ever. Jewel is, like, Jewel's got fans, people like Jewel, the Beetle, okay? She's cute, but she's such a nothing burger of a character. It's not that she doesn't ever contribute. It's just, like, who cares? She's not one of the main cast. She's just there. So they have an entire issue dedicated to how her and I think Charmy get infected. And I mean, the Charmy one, I guess, matters more to people, but Jewel getting infected, nobody fucking cares. And it's weird too, because the collection, the IDW collections, they don't sort the Zombot arc in order of issue release. They sort them in order of most important to least important. So, like, they have the primary Zombot plot stuff, and then they, at the, like, end of it, when you get to, like, the last paperback issue, where it's, like, volume 8 or 9, and they have, like, 4 random issues from the Zombot arc, and they're literally just, like, filler issues. And if I got one of these filler issues, I would have been pissed. Because they're literally, it's like, here's some side characters and something they went through. And it's like, who fucking cares? I don't care how these people got infected. They have one of the rooster who runs like in an owl, and they run a radio station. And I don't care about these characters. It was a big nothing burger. Who cares about these 2 fucking characters that don't matter to the main plot? I certainly don't. Why are you wasting my time? I'm talking about that before I even get to those issues. But I promise you, when I get to those issues, though, I will talk about them and I will complain about them. But for now, I'm just going to leave it off. Leave it off here on issue 22. I'm going to come back to issue 22. So my overall thoughts on this issue is it's not bad. It's actually okay. It's an okay comic. I think that in terms of art and storytelling, it's fine. It's got, you know, like, Amy, she's, like, freaking out because she can't, her friends and all that stuff. It all makes sense. None of it feels completely out of whack. I just think that it's kind of, this could have been one of those issues where I could have skipped it, but I looked at that one panel. I was looking at that one panel where it just weirdly cuts off, and I had to talk about that specific panel. And I decided I was going to talk about the whole issue in general, because I do think I want to at least be fair to the IDW staff to a certain degree. I don't want to be completely fair to them, because honestly, they're not spectacular at what they do. But I do want to be fair at them when they do something decent, because I like to be fair. But this comic's okay, and that's the best compliment I could pay for it. With that being said, I think I'm going to end this video right here. Hopefully, my issue 23 video will be out relatively soon, and it's finally hitting one of those juicy spots that a lot of people online talk about when it comes to the Zombot arc, and I can't wait to talk about it. So look forward to that. Take care, everybody.